Monsoon rains this week wreaked havoc in Jammu and Kashmir, leaving a trail of death and destruction. Almost 41 people were killed in last 2 to 3 days of incessant rains that lashed Jammu and Kashmir. Among the dead were 35 pilgrims who were killed, who fell victim to a cloudburst at Katra on the way to Mata Vaishno Devi. Among them were 7 minors. According to Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha, the pilgrims were killed when cloudbursts hit that area en route to the shrine, and they were swept away by the waters due to cloudburst. And the authorities quickly mobilized rescue, and but 35 people died because of this massive cloudburst that hit this en route shrine Vaishno Devi Shrine. 20 others were also injured, who were taken to different hospitals in and around Vaishno Devi Shrine, and they were treated. Later, the authorities carried out identification of the dead so that they could be sent back to their home states. The Lieutenant Governor announced rupees 9 lakh as compensation for the next of kin of these deceased, 4 lakh by the Shrine Vaishno Devi Shrine Board, and 5 lakh from the disaster management. This tragedy comes weeks after a cloudburst hit yatris of Machel Mata in Kishtwar at Chashoti, where 62 people were killed and more than 32 went missing. Such was the scale of this cloudburst in Kishtwar that an entire village and surroundings were completely wiped off the map. Authorities later mobilized rescue and relief operation, including army, CRPF, police, but 62 people died in that cloudburst. Later, the authorities dug through the rubble and the debris that was swept away by the heavy water currents. But 32 people still remain missing. So authorities have found body parts of some of the missing, and the search for the remaining is going on. The DNA analysis of the body parts of some of the missing is being carried out so that they could be identified and sent back to their home states. In the last 2-3 days, we have witnessed that torrential rains have devastated infrastructure in Jammu and Kashmir and left, apart from the 35 pilgrims who died at Mata Vaishno Devi in Katra and route to Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine. 2 people yesterday died in a cloudburst in South Kashmir's Shangas area. A man and his nephew, when their vehicle was hit by an electric wire, they were removed to the hospital where the doctors declared them dead. Because of incessant rains, the tributaries leading to Jhelum contributed to the swelling of Jhelum. As a result, the Jhelum, as you can see behind me, Jhelum that originates from South Kashmir, swelled, and it swelled and also spread on both of its flanks. And today, the level of water in Jhelum is almost at the danger levels. The authorities have asked people living in and around the flanks of Jhelum to be cautious. Yesterday we saw there was a breach in Srinagar's Rajbagh area. However, authorities and the locals quickly moved, putting sandbags to stop that breach, to plug that breach. However, some localities in Rajbagh were inundated, and people were seen trying to move out of that area and also shifting their equipment to the upper floors of their houses. And we also know, because of heavy rains, Jammu and Srinagar highway remained closed, leaving hundreds of vehicles stranded. In the last 4 or 5 years, we have seen the expansion of Jammu and Srinagar highway, 300-kilometer highway, has been turned into a 4-lane road. Lots of bridges, flyovers, and widening of this treacherous 300-kilometer stretch has been done. A lot has been accomplished, but there are still vulnerable stretches to landslides and shooting stone that have resulted in the blockade of this important artery that connects Kashmir with the rest of India. Because of the blockade of the Srinagar Jammu highway, the authorities quickly mobilized and made operational Mughal Road that connects South Kashmir with Rajouri and Poonch, so that the traffic could flow from that road from South Kashmir to Jammu. And we also know that communication was a major victim of the high rains, cloudbursts and landslides. Entire communication structure, mostly mobile phones and internet services, were down for last 2 days. Yet the telephone companies and mobile and internet providing companies, they worked overtime to get things done. And yesterday late evening, mobile was restored after more than 16 hours. The connectivity is still poor. From some areas, the connectivity is still non-existent, but continuous work is being done by the engineers of different service providers to get things back on track. And we also know that because of rains and cloudbursts, 75 sheep perished in South Kashmir Shankarpur area. And now yesterday we saw the authorities mobilize extensive support on a war footing to help provide relief and succor to people who were trapped or the areas where the localities were completely cut off due to heavy rains. We saw that 4 major bridges were suffered major damage in Jammu, including Bhagwati Bridge, and in some cases we saw visuals of vehicles getting trapped as the bridges caved in, and passers were shouting at the drivers to come out of the vehicles to safety. And because of the critical situation, especially in Jammu, the Indian Air Force mobilized its assets. Yesterday, 6 MI helicopters brought relief and rescue equipment. They also airdropped food and water to areas that have been submerged because of rising waters. The Indian Air Force also flew sorties from C-130 and IL-76, bringing in relief equipment and heavy, along with that, personnel from NDRF and CRPF and BSF, who were deployed in areas where, especially in low-lying areas in Jammu, where people had complained of, threat of getting inundated. So as things stand now, yesterday, Chief Minister Umar Abdullah spoke to Prime Minister and Home Minister and apprised them of the situation. So did the Lieutenant Governor, and the centre has gone out of the way to provide maximum possible relief along with equipment that is being used to help rescue and relief operation. So as things stand now, the weathermen have said that the weather is likely now to stabilize from tomorrow. As you can see, sun is out today and the water level is slowly receding, and because of which some relief is now being witnessed across Jammu and Kashmir, but the authorities are on their toes to respond to any emergencies.